because every person cannot higher education cannot be possible because they are economically not fit because they are मतलब वो जड़ बुनियादी से मजबूत नहीं होती है.
Yes.
In this reason, they are not increasing and they are not providing our children higher education because of that's why this is the reason. इसलिए पिछड़ा वर्ग बोला है.
Yes.
ये है.
They are not socially and economically capable for doing getting jobs or because they earn daily bread and butter. I think so. They work hard for really for survive their life.
I'm still not in favor of reducing the ability and the standard of education. I'm not in favor of that. If any student from the general category is selected for 70% of his marks, right, and another side you see a person and a student who is getting 40% of the marks and 50% of the marks, he is allowed to get selection, right? But you know what? They have not been a very good educational history. I'm talking about here the lower caste. They don't have this educational history. They did not get this atmosphere or the environment from the family side, from the parent side. They were not educated enough. So like you need to get them. When you set the standard for them is just to get 90% of the marks, 90% of the population from the lower caste will be discarded and demotivated.
They don't have a proper place.
Today, some journals are poor, but they don't get reservation, and some SC/ST castes are rich, but they get reservation part.
You know what? Who said to you the generals are not being given reservation? They are also being given reservation. By the time the Modi government came into the power, Modi government secured 10% of the reservation, right? For general category, for the upper caste. So the reservation, see, as I believe about the education. See, if basic education it should be given because basic education is your basic right. It is your birthright. Fine, it is written in the Constitution of India. You need to be educated, and this is nobody can stop you to get this right. You need to be educated. So what is wrong when the government is constructing the schools and educating those children? They are belonging to the lower caste. What is wrong with it? Don't you want the people to be educated enough? But it is very shameful and it is very sad reality where this educated people, they are criticizing the reservation, right? You know what? If anybody who belongs to the lower caste, he should not get any of the monetary benefit from the government as a reservation, right? The government has to make a strong system so they can look into that matter very efficiently. And secondly, the generals, they are belonging to the poor economic background, they should also be supported economically by the governments. And as far as the jobs are concerned, you need to increase the number of jobs. This is the only solution. If you are making lack of students, crores of students to compete for the 50 posts, there will be a problem related to this. Why are you not increasing the number of vacancies? And here we also need to understand that not everybody would be selected in the government job.
Because sir,
Why don't you try for private job?
yes sir.
Yeah.
Because there is no money in the bank of the government. They are like they don't have too much money so that they can give a lot of the vacancies. Then this is the problem of the businesses. India has no business.
No wishes. What are you talking about? Some of my friends, they are working in the government sector, government banks, and they said, "Sir, I have to just work very efficiently, and by the time like we are promised to work for 8 to 9 hours and we are giving about 12 hours working in the bank and we are doing overtime, we are working extra time because we have overload of the work where the 6% instead of 6%, 2% are working."
That's what I'm saying is that government do not have money to give lot of the vacancies.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is
Correct.
how will you be able to operate the nation with this way? You have so many excuses to give.
No. I am not just giving the favor of the government. I'm
Yes.
saying is government have no money. Why? Because of why there is no money? Because there is no Indian businesses. Our economy is like very down. That's why
Yes.
we are not able to provide the vacancies.
I'm talking about here 2 years back. Why are you coming on the stage and you are promising the youngsters we are going to give
That's
you?
a lie.
2 crores
That's a lie, na?
That's a lie.
That's a lie, na?
Yes.
So if this lie, you can lie once, you can lie twice,
You lie again.
you will lie again.
Again.
But you know what? As the youngsters got you on the platform, they will get you out from the platform.
But he is able to what do you say, like, hypnotize people.
No sir, no sir.
Kind of you can
Like
So
how
we are-
long? How long can you hypnotize anybody? There is a time duration. Na? There is a time duration. Why do you respect Lal Bahadur Shastri?
Sir,
even
the
if
problem is in
he
that-
did not complete his 5 year of duration of becoming a prime minister.
Sir, the problem is in the problem is in the system of the education, that we are not teaching our children
Yes.
to become self-dependent in the way of businesses. Now we are just teaching our children to be like to go to the job.
Yeah.
Yes, and everyone is going to the job. People are going out in Europe, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Emirates, and people are going USA. People are going
There is no
Australia.
problem. There is no
There is no problem. But for what? They are going for the jobs. India is empty. Like they do not have really much businesses, their own businesses. Then how can you just get the taxes, and how can you get your money back, and how can you increase your economy? Then after you are expecting the jobs to come more and vacancies to come more, it cannot happen, sir.
Why the company all around the world they are coming? More than 5,000 MNC companies are working in India. Why are
MNC
they
companies
working
are not
in India's
advantageable,
employee?
sir. MNC companies are not
It is
advantageable for India.
advantageable. What are you talking about? It is advantageable.
Sir,
Like they are
because-
making product and like bringing
If
the
there was any profit for India, they could not
Most
come
of
to
the
India.
companies are
See, how many? Yes.
most of the companies, sir, in 1992, when the Manmohan Singh is finance minister, that time we are not economically well.
Yes.
We don't have a विदेशी मुद्री
Huh?
विदेशी जो करेंसी होती है फॉरेन we don't have enough foreign currency that time. So that time he is the finance minister, and he allows the outside those MNC currency stabilized in India. That time they are running up, they are economically well. I think so. This is the
India-
one aspect of the economical. We are economically backward compared to the other countries.
How many government jobs do you think are there in India? Not more than 15 crore. Not more than 15 crores of government job. I'm just telling you the exaggerated figure. Army, Navy, Air Force, whatever it is, banking, and every sector you contribute, like public sector and core government sector, state or central. When you collect all the worker, there will not be like more than 12 and 13 crore as I know about the data, right? The jobs. And how many people they are working on a contractual basis, and how many people they are working in the private sector. So private companies are also very efficient because the government cannot feed every Indian, right? Not every Indian can be given government job. Here we should not only talk about India, we shouldn't talk about India. Across the world, it is not possible for any nation is just to get everybody and just to pay him for 40 or 50 years consecutively.
Sir, let me explain this thing.
Yeah.
Thing is like this is a country, India, and we are having very less companies of our own. Okay, we have companies from outside. Yeah, and we are giving jobs. What government do actually? We know that government has a banking system. Okay, that's giving some profit. Then after government has some of the systems like political systems. There are some more over like this, like Aadhaar card systems, and there are many documental
Yes,
systems.
yes.
They are not giving any of the profit to the country, but yes, they are contributing to make the documents of the Indian people. Yes. So we do not have anything like if we provide the value and we get in exchange the money from the people. Yes, so we think like increasing the vacancies in India will be the only reason that we can make India more better. No, this is not a well way. Right now, India has not that much money that they can increase the vacancies in India so that they can just give them. Yeah, so our army is not complete right now. Our army is also very less. There are a lot. I think that there are a big amount of the people who are needed for Indian army. But why government is not opening the gates? Because there is no food to provide them. There is no income to provide them. Government has no money because there is no good companies who can provide the money to our government. That's why we need more and more businesses. Like it should be balanced. Even 40% businesses of India should be there so that we can become a developed nation. Otherwise, we will be keep becoming the developing. As we know about India Vision 2020 of Abdul Kalam. Where is this vision? I am just talking about it's 2021 and we are still developing.
But they are not.
Yes, so education system is the biggest flaws here. The children are motivated to become a jobber, not the businessman. The problem is this: we need to open many of the businesses and to make our children's mind that they can open the business, so that we can create a big amount of the money in our government sector, so that we can make like this.
Every
But
person getting a job is not the solution of being we can be developed, because most of the developed nations, what in those countries, those nations, they have almost 80% of businessmen. They most of the people, they have a own business. That's why they contribute the
Yeah,
country
it
for
should
the
be-
developed nation. But we are running after the jobs. So we can live our life for easy, not for the.
Main problem in our Indian leaders, they are fulfill our needs. And Modi ji are also 8,000 crore plane. And why? What is the need?
No, that's not a
What do
flaw.
you need?
Modi ji is
Okay.
not a flaw. He cannot do anything by himself. He has to just look at everybody. Then he is just a person who can do the signatures, or he is a spokesman of the country or any of the government. What is the prime minister is? Prime minister is a spokesman or the person who do the signatures or take the decisions. But he is not the one who is thinking everything and then the decisions
And
are not from
Modi ji are
himself.
also said, this is not my work to provide employment.
That's the truth.
Yes, you speak. SC, ST, OBC, poor and people. Okay, and poor and rich. Okay, and general are also poor and rich. Why are SC, ST, OBC, 50 and 60% marks get a government job, and why are general 80-90% marks get a government job?
I just want to carry forward. Yes.
People in general born millionaires.
Sir, I have sir, if we have a 100 seat, we are categorized in four. If we have a 100 seat, we are categorized in four sectors. For minorities, we can say SC and ST, some amount of OBC, some amount of general category. But those candidates competed with their own quotas. So the percentage level, number of students preparing, and number of quotas, number of percentage rise up. That's why we can say in general category 80% he don't get selected because he take jobs on his own quotas. But before what happened, if we have a SC ST student, there some of the vacancy they are filled up. Or if we have some kind of percentage, they will take from the advantage of their general quotas. But now it is abolished. In the current system, Supreme Court announced those candidates who are preparing for their own quota, they are getting jobs from own quota.
2 or 3 things I want to discuss with you. As he said, a student who gets 80% of the marks, he gets selection when he belongs to the general category. A student who is from SC ST, he gets the selection within 50% of the marks. Similarly, in the job in railway, like people are claiming that many youngsters and students, they are getting job in Indian Railway, fine, with a minimum number of marks they have in exams. The productivity is what? If they are not securing 90% of the marks, that means they don't deserve, they are not capable of getting job into any department. But no such fact is found later on after given training to them and working for 3 to 5 years. They are working very efficiently. So any student who gets 90% of the marks and students who get 70% of the mark, there is no such difference is found after getting the person, after getting this professional into the job. There is no difference between. What is the difference between anybody who is getting 80% of the marks and 85% of the marks? If there are 2 students and 3 students, let's say 90, 85 or 80. There is no such difference. It is just because of their mind it was established just to take some right answers, right? But as I just want to say that if there is a major difference, 90, let's say 60. So 60% of the students and 90% of the students, they both are selected in any sector. They both are working very efficiently. There is no problem at all. So exams are the criteria is just to select the candidate and to shortening the lot of rush which is coming. And second thing, I just want to here discuss about, see, increasing number of posts, it is mandatory for this. Governments, they don't have fund, so they should allow the youngsters.
This is a main reason.
They should allow the youngsters, they should motivate the youngsters to become an entrepreneur, to work for themselves and create job opportunities. Fine. Skill India program, Skill India development is just a small try from the government side. Why until and unless we stop giving lots of importance and lots of value beyond our means to the government job, it is never going to be finished. Fine. So what is the speciality of the government jobs? Security. We are longing for the security. It is just because of we have been dictated by so many traitors, so many dictators for 1,000 years. So just we want to be secure because we are quite insecure inside. So this private companies and this private jobs are giving you security. Fine. So like it is also a very good option. In government job, when you are earning 30 or 35,000 rupees, similarly you can do work in the private companies and you can earn more than that. Although the means promotions which are not very frequent in the government sector. Promotions are coming very lately. After working 8 years, 10 years, within every 2 or 3 years, within every 6 months, every year, within 2 years, you can get the promotion in the private job. So private job, it should be very good in nature. And what do you talk about, like the people, they are if they are earning less, it is okay, but they are secure. They are secure because of they don't work, they will be paid by government. So here you are promoting what? You are promoting lethargy, you are promoting like idleness. Nikammapan ko aap promote kar rahe ho. Fine. Whether you work or not, like you will be given salary by the government. What are you trying to promote that? Are you thinking that our government, how many government companies, they have been privatized? It is just because of the bureaucracy and those professionals, they are not working very efficiently. And here the people, they lot talk about the railway, it should not be privatized. It should be under control of the government. 50%, 51% of the share, it should be held by the government, right? So the security of the job, it should be there in the life of people, right? If they are working in Indian Railway itself. So ultimately, the companies and the businesses are demanding performances from your side. If you are not ready to perform, you just go to any government office. Doesn't matter like from which caste you belong to, you are by default lazy. Your software become lazy, right? You don't like to stop like you don't like to work very efficiently. You just go to private banks, although they are favoring capitalism and everything that runs by the money there, but you are getting the satisfaction from the services they are getting. You just go to SBI bank, right? You have to have a lot of wait sitting in the queue and waiting for your chance. So you are not making government sectors are very efficient, right? And the government business, see, the government work is not just to run the businesses. The government work is just to coordinate the nation and to just make it into the right direction. Let those businessmen, right, be ruling that not every sector it should be privatized. As I said, ordnance factory related to the defense matter, they should never be privatized. You see, earlier Airtel, Vodafone, all those private companies did not come in India. Only BSNL was there. So same technology, no advancement, nothing is there. You just create a competition, and those private companies, we need to understand that they are very efficiently working. So here when you are working in the private sectors, right? From whatever the caste you belong to, you are not seeking for the reservation. There is no reservation at all there. Like, fact of the matter is, if you are able to perform, you'll be get into the job, otherwise you'll be fired, right? Private jobs are very dignified job. It is just because of you are writing your own check there. You are not depending upon the companies are providing you for working, no, working less. They are not providing you. There is no free lunch, and this should be a philosophy just to live in this world, in your life too, in your professional life too.
Yeah.
But the life of Dalits and the life of SC/ST, it is very difficult. You see the educated Indians, they are partializing and they are calling by their name, oi mathar, right? Oi chamar.
not right.
So this is not right. What kind of vocabulary that you are using, is it okay? It does it suits to you as a student, right? As an educated person, you are just
But upper caste mentality, you are a
No, we cannot change the mentality of the upper caste, not upper caste. We cannot change these kind of the people.
This is
Yes,
not
but
change.
we can change ourselves. If you are a minority person, you are molesting by those people. You are getting like disturbed by those people. So you can make yourself like that. You become something and prove them.
see,
Yes.
if you are very superior by your caste, let's say you are Kshatriya, right? You should be very much proud of what your ancestors have done for the nation. They fought with many of the outsiders. You need to be very proud on that, right? But like you see the duality in the standard of people. They are criticizing Dalits. We will not allow them to sit with us and have food. And another side, if any Dalit who is the district manager, who is the DM collector of any states, they are going to getting selfie, right? And respecting that person. Isn't it? You can find out the dual standard of people. They are respecting the post. They are
Yes, sir.
here the caste doesn't matter. If you know what, if you don't have money, if you are poor, you don't have education, you will be suppressed by the people they are belonging to your same caste.
and you are not progress in religion.